This episode of the Muay Thai podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com, authentic Muay Thai lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of a Nak Muay. Go check it out. Okay, welcome to this episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. Today we have Mario Reyes. Mario, you're up in Santa Maria, correct?
That's correct. No, Napomo.
In Napomo, California. He is a martial arts coach, primarily Muay Thai. Are you co-owner of 805 Kickboxing?
Yeah, I'm co-owner with DJ Docto. He just moved out here from the Bay Area. Nice. So it's me and him, and then we just partnered up with Manny Marquez, and he's now running Westmore Jiu-Jitsu under the same roof. So we got a lot of good stuff going on.
Sweet, man. So, me and you, we met each other quite a while ago. I want to say probably around 7-8 years ago, something like Correct. That. So, tell me more about you guys' program and stuff like that up there in Napomo.
Yeah. So, we've been up and running for about 3 years. We lasted through COVID. We didn't. It's a little different out here with rules, and everyone kind of knows everybody. So we were kind of able to stay open and keep the gym going. And it was a very interesting time. We had certain people in the gym that were in the medical field that were still training during COVID, and so learned a lot during COVID. We got to stay open, and it was at one point we thought we were going to close down, but we have a good core of students who kind of believe in what we do and trust us, and they decided to continue to keep paying and keep us open even though they weren't coming. But for the ones that did keep coming, we just got to this point now we got past COVID, and we decided I had 2 locations going. I had one in Santa Maria and one in Napomo. Mm-hmm. So after COVID, we decided just to focus solely on Napomo because there's really nothing out there in that area, which is basically 10 minutes from Santa Maria.
Yeah.
And it was just a better decision for us to go that route. And now we're moved to a new location where we got to kind of demo everything out, kind of customize everything that we want. We're actually probably going to be opening up this week. So nice. We were adding much more stuff, added times, a few added programs that we haven't released yet, but that'll be soon. We'll be dropping that soon, what we'll be doing there, but we're kind of going to have everything going on there.
Awesome. Yeah, I've seen you guys been teasing out the new location build out you guys are doing too. Super stoked for you guys. Kind of going into that, making through COVID and, with your coaching and stuff like that too, is there any secret or message or any idea or a product, something that you have that helps you focus and kind of tackle on these vital business priorities, right? Because you're pulling all these different directions in business.
Honestly, man, I just do my best to stay focused. Yeah. I don't really have a recipe. I do work full time as well. We do run the gym full time, but I also have a lot of people who help me out. I have a good little core of guys who believe in our system, and sometimes I don't have to be there, which is great. I got Sergio Salazar, who's helps out with the fight team. Justin Sook, who takes over a lot of the classes when I can't be there. So we have a good core of people. We're a solid team that keep this thing going the way it should be. When someone can't, it's like the saying, next man up. When someone can't be there, someone's always stepping up. And we have I'm pretty blessed with a good core of students that I have, and guys that want to learn and guys that want to coach, man. So it's going good so far.
Yeah, awesome, man. No, we've met some of your team and stuff like that too, and just me and you talking and stuff like that. It's great to see you guys getting momentum from the past few years. It seems like, kind of going into that. How did you end up here on the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast?
you've been hounding me.
Like we've been talking about this for over a year, man. So I'm super stoked.
You know me, man. We know each other for quite a while. And, I don't like doing this stuff.
Yeah.
I just like teaching and letting my guys do all this stuff and let them kind of get their shine. We're just old men coaching. That's it. We don't be on camera, but I know we've been kind of talking about it for a while, and I guess it's the perfect time to, I had some time. I'm actually on the road right now.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd
work,
pull over
right?
work and get it in.
What do you do for work?
I am a termite inspector.
Termite inspector. Awesome. Like, do you like home inspections and stuff too? Like, will you help out with that or?
Well, yeah, but I don't do all the electrical stuff and all that. I do all
just the termite.
The wood destroying organisms is what we're always looking for.
Got it. Okay. So, I know you said you didn't have any like recipes for like how you structure your day, but is there anything that like you think is like vital for like what contributes to like the momentum that you're having for your team and kind of what you're doing? Like any thing that you do? Coaching is one of those things. Is there something that you always do when you're coaching that like is maybe one of those habits that you always have?
Just stay consistent with what I'm preaching, man. I do my best to stay consistent with what I'm preaching, and I demand a lot from my guys, but also at the same time, I'm always there for my guys.
Yeah,
right? I have a 2-year-old, which all the guys know, and I think that's another factor that pushes these guys because they know when my son's in the gym, he's in there. When he's not, I'm away from my son.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really does motivate these guys, when they're competing, and it gives them that extra push because they know the sacrifice that I'm giving to them, and I get it right back.
Yeah, it's like everybody always sacrifices time as a coach, but it's like even easier for them to kind of like comprehend that when they see your son, right?
Right. Yep. And it definitely gives them the extra push. So I guess that's what kind of keeps everything going.
Awesome. So going through that too, obviously you had some challenges opening. You're talking about COVID. With that, like that obviously could have devastated the business and like ruined what you do, and you guys persisted. You made a lot of tough decisions, as did everybody in Muay Thai, as we know. So do you have anything else that was like that? Maybe a time where you're going through and maybe that helped you have that muscle when it came time for COVID to like, hey, I'm going to stick to my guns and we're going to keep persisting through this. Is there any other times that you've had like in what you're doing for coaching or even training Muay Thai where you've been in one of those tough spots where you weren't sure if you're going to be able to keep going or not?
I can say before I opened up the gym, I moved back from LA and I was kind of done with the fight stuff. I was I said I was done with it. I didn't want to do it no more. I just wanted to pop in the gym every once in a while and help people out, hold pads here and there. And it was a really tough decision to kind of step away. And then opportunity came and we kind of fell back into this thing. So I guess that can kind of be a tough situation on what direction I was going to go with this. Either I was going to completely stop it and not do it no more, or we was technically supposed to be just help out a couple guys that were fighting locally. And then now we're a whole new brand and a whole new brand and everything else. But it's hard to stay away,
Yeah, definitely.
Even during COVID, one of the big decisions we had to make was we were still fighting during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going out to Tennessee to my buddy Nick Pycook. He's out there at Triumph Fight Academy. They plugged us in Tennessee, and we were going to Tennessee to fight during COVID, which was another decision. I was about to have my baby, and I just had my baby actually, and I was out there during COVID. It was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, and doing that during that whole travel and stuff like that. How did your wife feel about that?
My girlfriend.
Your girl? Oh, sorry. Apologies. Your girlfriend. Yes.
Probably hates me still. I don't know. You got the good old, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and go. So you know how that goes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Make it up when you come back.
Yeah.
It kind of going through that too, for yourself, what do you think is like most critical skill you think people or like, coaches, other business owners or like people building a brand that they need to master in order to thrive kind of with what's going on, especially in California?
I just think, and I was just reading something on this yesterday. Just have an open mind and really listen to, your students. Listen to what your students want. Listen to everything that that you might be lacking that you don't know. The answers are always in front of you. If there's something that you're not doing right, or don't be egotistic to where you need help with something as a coach. Like me, me, like I got a lot of people that I ask for help, because I can't figure something out, or you just want to grow as a coach. I do.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think I know it all. I'm not a know-it-all. And I think being open-minded and being willing to, listen to who's around you and who knows what's good for you, and be open-minded to get better as a coach as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like you said, sometimes the answers are right in front of you. And I think that goes into like always having that student mindset for people. It's like, hey, yeah, you know what you're doing, but also be open to learning. Right.
Right.
So kind of going into like some lessons learned and stuff too, can you tell us about who what the most influential lesson is that you learned from maybe one of your mentors, one of your coaches, and how it helped you become the person and like coach and business that you are today?
Yeah, honestly, man. And I owe a lot to my coach, Roy Corona, which you plugged me in with before I moved to LA.
Yeah.
I learned so much from him as being a coach, person, being healthy, getting back on track. And
yeah, he got you losing weight and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, we're out there doing it, coaching and fighting and doing all that. And I learned a lot from him as far as the big thing I learned from him on how to treat your students and your fighters. Right? You can't do anything 60, 70, 80%. The things I learned from him as being as a coach for your fighters is something that I'll never, I never would have learned it anywhere else. I learned a lot from him. So I definitely owe him a lot. A lot of stuff I do teach is based off of a lot of stuff that he taught me. And my guys still train with him. They go down there, they come down. So I definitely owe a lot to him at Corona Muay Thai Academy.
Yeah, shout out to Crew Roy, the OG. So I've talked about Roy a couple times here on the podcast too. So anybody that's listening knows it's not a random name to drop. So going through and like to where you're at and having these like mentors and like these roadblocks that you've worked through, it kind of breaks down for just like a recipe for success, right? So going into that, if there was like a magic reset button, right? When you're going through this, like I want you to just like imagine you have the magic reset button as it relates to you starting your journey in like martial arts, right? I wouldn't even just say Muay Thai. Like what systems or like methods would you go back and put into place sooner rather than later? And why?
I would have not boxed. I would have been doing Muay Thai as a kid. I never would have touched boxing. And I love boxing. I fell in love with Muay Thai after, so I definitely would have done Muay Thai a little bit more than I was focused on boxing and doing a little bit of other things. So
and why?
Just the culture, the Muay Thai culture, and boxing is a different animal when it comes to
a little more abrasive.
Yeah, and there's just so much to Muay Thai, the culture behind it, the religion behind it. It's more than just, bashing each other's heads, and it's a beautiful sport. There's a lot to learn from it, and it definitely does change lives.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which, in our gym, we have a few guys who the sport has definitely changed their lives, and we documented a few of the guys on video. And we have some other videos coming out shortly that there's going to be some crazy stories due to Muay Thai changing their lives.
Oh, 100%, man. I was at the Muay Thai Business Academy, and it was like, I asked everybody, I'm like, hey, who here in this room had Muay Thai change your life significantly for the better? And like, I think everybody raised their hand. So there's a room of like 35 plus people that are involved in martial arts, right?
So definitely has changed my life too.
Oh yeah.
Continuing to, like I get to travel a lot. Be in Boston this week for my boy Andrew's fight. So
I'm in Scottsdale this weekend. They have not Scottsdale, the Surprise, Arizona this weekend. They have the regional seed qualifier for the WBC Muay Thai USA out here. So it's like a 1-day regional tournament. So it's I can relate on that, man. Like the travel thing is different for sure. For us, like I don't think people like understand like how like Ventura, like Santa Maria and like Lompoc and Poma, like how like small those are, like when you're there and you grow up in these areas, and to be doing all this travel stuff is kind of like wild.
Yeah, they don't people don't understand. They don't. No. They think you're doing what the other gym's doing or this person's doing. It's like, nah, man, we're truly not.
Yeah. Kind of going into that too. What's one strategy or recipe that if like a person or a coach or a business owner and the teams could consistently apply it every day, and would really compound into big wins for them. I think I know what that answer might be based upon what you said before, but what is like one strategy or something that you would say like that would help people just, something that they can do every day that would compound into a big win?
Just, staying on top of everything with your people, your students, your gym, your whatever you're doing, whether it's work, business, make sure you have a daily plan to execute it, right? Yeah. You can't go in just like fighting, you can't go in. Well, some guys do, but you got to go in with a plan and try to execute that plan, right? So when you start your day or you have something set up for your business, make sure you're executing it, and just ultimately, if you're going to preach it, you better walk it too,
Yeah.
So
definitely. And now that we're kind of like set that framework for everybody who's listening here on the podcast too, let's fast forward 1 year. You're looking back on some decisions that you made, like, and you're making now. Like you said, you're traveling this weekend, Boston. Imagine, the people you're working with today exceed your highest expectations, right? Like your team just goes way beyond, right? What do you think like the recipe or the strategy that you did and consistently applied that delivered the most value to you in your business? What do you think that is that like really caused them to go beyond what you expected?
Just just doing what I say, right? Just being a man of my word. And if you give me 110, I'll be right there with you, right? We're always no matter what I'm doing, right? I can be 2 hours of sleep and I'm going to be there for you. If, so it has to be a 50-50 give, it's hard to really get that. But like right now with the team I got, I'm truly blessed with these guys, man, and what they give. It's crazy, and it kind of it pushes me to be better always, because I feel like, man, these guys are doing this. I didn't think they were going to do it. Now I got to do this, But it thrives as a business, because if you come into our gym, it's a culture we have, right? Yeah. Everybody works with everybody. Of course, we do certain things separate, but you can be a beginner and you're working with our guy with 10 plus fights and you wouldn't even know it, just because everybody wants to get everybody in there better, which is kind of our culture,
Yeah, 100%. That's how you build a team for sure. Yeah. So now I want you to imagine that you're standing in a room of like martial artists, whether it be Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, and business owners too, people just like you when you're starting out, like you're saying, it was maybe you're in that transition period, like, I'm done. And they're battling their way through like the fears, worries, doubts, and struggles to find their footing in what they're doing. What are 2 or 3 strategies or like tips you would recommend they focus on to best ensure that like they're successful in what they do?
Okay, don't talk to me. Talk to Pooh, because he's the money man. He makes more money.
Get out of here, bro.
Just do it, man. There's like there's nothing. You just got to do it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Right? You're gonna be right where you're at. Fearful, worrying, stressing. You just do it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Like I'm scared about a lot of things, but we just do it. You know what I mean? we were scared about opening a new location, but guess what? It's the stuff we put in there. It's going to be a very clean gym. So I'm excited to kind of show what we got going on in there. But as, you know, there's always that fear of, should I do this? Should I do that? That's just me, man. I've always been one to just do it and deal with the consequences later.
Yeah.
And dig myself out of a hole when I have to, you know? So
hence why you have a 2-year-old, man.
Yeah. Do it now. It's even scarier. If you don't have kids, definitely do it.
Yeah. Worth it, right?
It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
Awesome, man. You know, thanks for sharing that too. I think it's like, it's very key. I think it's something key for a lot of martial artists that see you're successful is that it's like, hey, I'm going to deal with it. Like the worst case scenario, like, hey, I end up with a bunch of debt and I have to restart and I go back to working at I work for somebody else. Like that's fine. Right. And it's like the humility to understand that that's a very real possibility too. I think is very key. So kind of going into this, like, you know, me and you, we talk a lot about like, hey, fighters, promoters, you know, all these different aspects, coaching. We see some of this stuff and we're both like, whoa, I can't believe somebody's doing that. Right. You know, going into that with like promoters, there's stuff like a Rising Star, promotion. I believe that's what it's called with Lino up in Sacramento, right?
Yep.
So tell me, like, you know, I've been seeing some of this stuff. I haven't been to the show, but I see what he's doing. What has been your experience? You've had people fight on it, and you know, I know you talk with him. And what do you think that like a promotion like Rising Stars is doing right that others aren't?
Man, from point A to point Z, man, Lino got it dialed in. He from the weigh-ins to from the minute you get booked with the fight, you know, he's in touch with you. It's just the most easiest road going into a fight with Lino, right? Because you know you're going to be taken care of. Like there's no, if Lino says this, it's that. You know, there's no, oh, I said this, but no, not with Lino. He's 100% fighter first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't need to do the promotions. You know, he does. You know, he's not doing it for the money. I'll tell you that much.
Well, yeah, so, you're in California. You're not making money.
Yeah. He and Lino truly loves the sport. He fucking has a hell of a team. You know, their guys are all good. We always match our guys up against each other because they're good, man. You know, it's always a good experience with Lino. But as far as the promotion, everything's covered from your fight shorts to just everything, man. It's worth. People were, if they were to follow how he does his shows, man, Muay Thai will be in the right direction. And you're allowed to do everything, you know, your full ram, right, cool, everything.
Yeah, so, and you know, preserving some of those authentic things and showcasing the unique benefits of Muay Thai and the unique aspects of Muay Thai. That I think a lot of people, you know, and I know Lino does, like he has like kids presenting the trophies and some belts and stuff, right?
Yeah,
and. You know, I think that's more a better shift towards building people than having a ring girl.
Right.
You know, it's like the boxing aspect, the entertainment thing, right? Where it's like, hey, like it's more grassroots inside of Muay Thai. And, you know, we talked about this, some promoters don't quite understand that. And like, they don't understand that we all talk to each other. Like all the coaches that like, you know, we talk. You know, I talked to Crew Dan, I talked to like people in the Bay Area, you know, Gabe Davids, I talked to people in Texas, talked to people in New York, Florida, like everywhere. Like we're talking, and you're in Tennessee, you're in Boston, like if you do something stupid, like that spreads fast, right?
Right.
So
yeah, it definitely does. And then the whole thing with Lino and the kids, you know, he's all about his family, you know, and if you ever watch any of his guys fight, the whole family comes out. It's crazy. He'd be anywhere, and there'd be like 50 people deep. You know, it shows you what Lino's doing, man. But yeah, shout out to Lino, man. He's always taking care of us since day one, man. That's my boy.
Awesome. Yeah, he's been like I've met him only like a couple of times, and anytime I see like his team competing, they're always respectful and stuff like that too. He's never yelled at me as a referee.
Yeah.
So.
I just know everybody's trying to get on that show. you're talking about there's a lot of people who try to get on that show. So that's a good sign. And I know he has some big things coming up next year.
Yeah.
Would be definitely going to be good for the sport of Muay Thai.
What do you think, like, what's like the main thing that he's doing that's probably different?
Honesty. Honesty, and his matchmaking is on point, right? As for me as a coach, I don't want the easiest fight. We want to do this, and we want to showcase our best skills. We want to do it against other people who are highly skilled as well, right? Yeah. And that's for me. If not, I don't know what the point would be to be even doing this. Yeah. Maybe to post on Instagram and show the local people what I'm about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
but it's like that's pissing into the wind,
Right. So yeah, but
doesn't build anything.
Yeah, Lino's it's honesty with him, man, and he's a man of his word, and he's really doing something different.
Nice. Well, hey Mario, it's been great talking to you. How can people find you guys?
You can look us up on 805 Kickboxing on Instagram, on our website www.805muaythai.com. If you're into jiu-jitsu, you can plug into westmorebjj.com, and they're also Westmore BJJ on their Instagram, and that's our partnership at our gym, and they're gonna be doing some big things this year too, man. It's awesome. Crazy. Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely link that down in the show notes for everybody. Thank you so much, Mario. You have a good day, man.
You too, bro.
All right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today to the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. If you enjoy the content, go leave a review over on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Give us a rating. It means the world to us. Also, if you want to be a guest on the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast, or if you just want to shout out to your friend, go check us out at podcast.puumuaythai.com. You can submit to be able to be a guest on the podcast. You can submit what you want to talk about. Also, if you want to just give a shout out, there's a button for that too. Sawadee Kop.